Hello everyone, I'm Thibault, founder of the Sorank software. Today, in this video, I'm going to show you all the features of the software so that you can use it to its fullest potential, to get the highest possible return on investment. Today, we're looking at the account of one of our clients who went from 0 to over 9,000 visitors in less than 6 months. He subscribed in February when he was getting between 4 and 10 visitors per day with a peak of 22. Today, he's hitting peaks of over 174 visitors per day. And what's most interesting is that he has exceptionally allowed us to share the financial results of his website. And he has generated over 5,000 euros in sales, knowing that he has very high margins on this shop. So he got a return on investment of more than 10 with his subscription, which has only cost him 99 euros per month for the past 5 months. So we're really looking at an ROI of 10 times. He spent a little less than 500 euros and made over 5,000 euros in sales. Here is his website. He sells window cleaning robots on the French market. And today, he gave me access to his account so I can show you all the features. Let's get started. Here, I'll quickly introduce you to the dashboard, the blog articles and content section, the GEO and AI analysis section, the leaderboard section, and the backlinks section. But first, let's go into the settings. The first thing you need to know is that my interface here is in English because I speak English fluently. But if you want to update it, you can simply do so here by editing your personal information. Here, you'll be able to edit all of them. Here, you have your first name, last name, your email, and your phone number. And below that, you'll find the application's language. I set mine to English. You, on your end, can set it to any language you want. Below that, you'll see your site's identity. It's very important to understand that you can't change your site's URL. Once you've created an account with this website, that's the website you'll have. Because we offer all the AI analyses for free, and to prevent abuse, you simply aren't allowed to change the website. If you want to add a new site, you can either add a subscription here, or quite simply, you can create another account with a different email address. Below that, you'll find the summary of your business. Here, in a few sentences, so this summary, we update it every month. Every month, we will recrawl your website to detect if you have added new pages, new products, or new services, so that we can always write blog articles with the latest information from your site. Below that, we will directly list the audiences you are targeting with your website. Specifically, who do you want to sell your products and services to? Below that, you will have your target market. Now, this is extremely important to understand that there are two pieces of information. First, we will look at the language. What language do your prospects and clients speak in your market? Here, let's imagine that I am a supplier of robots for the life of Crier Vivant only in Europe and only to people who speak French. So, here, I'm going to enter it. The French market, so the French language. And as for the target market, here, I can specify it directly here. Either I could enter it here, or I could indicate a city, a state, or a department, or even a region. You'll be able to enter it here. If you want to target by country, you can put it here. So if, for example, I only sell, let's say, in Paris, Bordeaux, and Nantes, I'll enter those 3 cities separated by commas. The country will be France. If I'm targeting all of France, I just put national. And if I put international, then I'll be selling internationally in all French-speaking countries. So if I'm targeting Europe, that's what I need to put, international French. Below that, we have communications, meaning which language you want us to use to communicate with you. All of this concerns emails and messages, WhatsApp. So here, the client has selected French. Next, we have integrations. There are 2 types of integrations here. Either we have the data, so connect your Google Search Console and connect Google Analytics. For that, nothing could be simpler. You just need to click the blue button, connect Google, and a pop-up will appear. You'll need to make sure to check all the boxes to give us access to that, and then it will be updated automatically. Below, you'll find the platforms and websites to connect Shopify, WordPress, Webflow, Wix, WordPress.com, and Webhooks, for sites developed internally by developers. It's very important to understand and to look at the guide. There are guides for each website, and for example, for WordPress, you need to download a small plugin, install it, and simply disable a setting if you have the WordFence plugin. I made videos, I really took the time to make videos in French, in English, in literally all languages to give you the latest information so you can truly connect your site to Sorank in the best possible way. Now that we've said that, there's one last point. Here, what you'll be able to choose is the connection to our own server. If, for example, you created a site on Lovable and you don't know how to develop a webhook because you're not a developer, you'll be able to host your blog with Sorank. For example, I can give you an example of one of our sites. We have Tacos Factory, so Tacos Factory, which is simply a brand that sells tacos in Geneva. They have a site that was developed, but they don't want to make technical changes, which would cost them quite a lot in development. Even though their site uses very good technology, they don't want to do that. That's their choice. So they directly connected their subdomain blog.tacosfactory.ch, and on that, we're going to publish blog articles in order to send traffic directly to their site. So the blog article is here, and it will indeed have links that redirect directly to their site. This entire interface is customizable. To do that, you just need to go here and click on the button. Configure at the bottom right, which might currently be under my camera. So you'll need to click on configure here in order to add 2 records to your domain name. So this is the simplest thing you can do if you ever have a site on Lovable, Claude, or any other CMS where we don't have a direct connection. If, for example, you have a website on Prestashop, you'll be able to connect the webhook via Make or Zapier. So even if your CMS isn't listed here, you can still connect it via Make or Zapier. And for that, I really recommend that you check out our documentation. So I'll show you directly in the documentation. We have access to all the guides, and here we can see all the CMSs directly. And each time we list whether there is a direct connection or not. So here you'll find several pages that tell you whether we're connected or not. For example, on this site, we're not connected, but we can host their blog for free. That's exactly what I just showed you. So this part is a bit long, sorry, but it's just for the technical side. How to connect this rank so that everything is done automatically. Now, we can get back to the GEO part, because that's where we start. We decided to bet that AIs would take up more and more of the market share. So, the first thing we do, once we've scanned your site and all your competitors, is right here. We list the prompts for you. So here, we're going to look at the prompts, which are the questions your future clients ask every day in AIs like ChatGPT and also on Google. So here, we're going to have lots of questions. And the goal is that we're going to send them every week to different AI models to understand 3 things. First, are you already being mentioned in the AIs when these questions are asked? Secondly, is it the case that AIs have biases on certain topics? For example, in France, at Sorank, we discovered that every time we asked questions about home appliances, absolutely, all the AIs had a bias and looked for answers related to the keywords warranty, satisfied, or refunded. We don't know why, that's just how it is. And so, since we detect it, we know how to position you. We highlight that keyword in your future blog article so that you can be present on those keywords. That way, the next time ChatGPT and Gemini process that query, we'll be in the top position and much more easily cited by the AIs. And all those keywords, we extract them automatically. And finally, the third important criterion is knowing who your competitors actually are. Who are the sites that are cited more often than you by these AIs? You should know that with the plan at 99 euros per month, here you'll have ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity. If you upgrade to the higher plan, you'll get more AIs. You'll also get Claude and Grok. That's for the pro and business plans. Then, once you've gathered all this data, you'll also be able to discover other things. For example, here, where did the AIs find you? When you ask a question and the AIs mention you, where did they cite you? Did they mention you because of the blog articles you've written, or maybe from another site? Here, for example, Trustpilot, which was mentioned 4 times. We might also have competitor sites if they talk about you. We might also have media, the press, videos, YouTube. In short, all of that will be referenced here. So let's say this is kind of your reputation radar. And below, you'll really have all the analyses day by day, depending on the presence you've seen. For example, here, over the past 3 weeks, we can see that our client is really increasing their visibility. And now it's happening all the time. We constantly have 2, 3, even 4 mentions, whereas there are a lot of competitors every time we send out all these prompts. So now, once we have all this data, actually, all the competitors we found, we're going to list them here. These are all sites that have ranked for terms that are interesting to us. So here, we'll have all these competitors, and for example, if Darty is a site that sells a bit of everything and isn't relevant, we can remove it. We can remove it, that way we won't take it into consideration, that site. In reality, on our backend, we still keep an eye on it, in case they publish new blog articles on your topic. That way, we're sure to never miss out on a good opportunity. Here we have a feature that allows you to put your competitors under surveillance. This means you'll be able to select 5 competitors. And every time these competitors publish a new blog article, we'll retrieve that keyword and add it for you to generate later. That way, you leave no ground, no possible lead to your competitors, and we will always be neck and neck with them. This feature really gives you a competitive advantage because every time your competitors create new content, you'll be able to leverage it automatically with our technology. You'll be better ranked than them because your blog article will be of much higher quality. So here you'll have all the citations, visitors, and keywords. So I recommend leaving this enabled. Really, this spying feature is a bonus. Once you've done all that, you'll be able to generate your blog articles. All of this is done automatically. Here, I'm really showing you all the features so you have all the information. But basically, once you've signed up for the account, you can get everything set up in 10 minutes. All of this is done automatically. So this is really for SEO professionals and enthusiasts who want to go into detail. Now, we're going to move on to the keyword generators. So here, it's very simple. When you signed up, we already generated what's called a keyword cluster. That is to say, we started from your main keyword, and we searched for all the related phrases, and all the other keywords where you aren't present yet, but your competitors already are. For example, here we had window cleaning robot, and within that, we had all the French keywords for my client. So here we can see that we have transactional and commercial keywords, and we always start with those because they're the ones that generate revenue. And later on, we'll work on informational keywords. So all of these are keywords that will need to be used in blog articles. And of course, we made sure to check that they weren't already being used on the website to avoid cannibalization. So all these keywords, we can select them and schedule them for later. Now, if you want to generate other keywords, if you want to look for maybe other phrases, you can click here on Generate a Keyword and generate one with a custom keyword. Here, you can enter your keyword and click on Generate. And we will really scan everything, the entire internet, all your competitors who are already present, to find the keywords that are missing from your site and that you should be using. For example, a few minutes ago, or rather 3 hours ago, I did it with maintaining your windows. Here, we will see all the information, and as you can see, I just entered maintaining your windows and maintaining your windows. Thank you. The keyword robot isn't in there, but still, it's a keyword that's related to our topic. And our software understood that there were indeed the keywords robot, window, cordless. These are keywords we haven't used yet. Next, let's look here, for example, robot for cleaning windows. Clean windows without streaks. So these are all keywords we haven't used yet, which are really relevant for us. For example, window robot rental, that's something we hadn't explored yet and which could be interesting. So all these keywords, once we have them, that's great, but we'll need to plan them out. That's why here we have the planning feature. Planning. So we're going to click here, and then we'll see all the previous clusters. So here we'll have both, and we just need to click on the category here to schedule them. So now I'm going to add them all. There will be 43. And so for 43 days, I'll have content that will be generated. As we can see here, we have plenty that are scheduled. So here, on my client's subscription, we're on the €99 per month plan, so they'll get 20 per month. Here, if we click here, we can move to the month of August. And as we can see, right now, we have articles scheduled all the way until the end of 2026. So literally, he doesn't need to log into his account again until the end of 2026. And of course, when he runs out of keywords, we automatically generate and add more for him. And we'll send him a little email to let him know what has been done. The blog articles. How do we personalize them? How can we tell when they've been personalized? Here, we can either do it one by one or in a general way. So when we want to do it one by one, for example, for this blog article, I really want to highlight a main topic. So we'll click on it, and then we can write all the information we want. If we want to personalize it in an expert way, we activate it. And here we'll have all the settings that you can also find on another interface, which I'll show you later. So we'll have the article settings, how we address our readers, whether we let the AI generate titles or if we generate them ourselves. Also, images, whether we generate images with AI or not. The color of the images generated by the AI, whichever we prefer. This is a setting that can be set as the default for all articles. I'll show you that later. The style of the image, the type of image we want, and also the ethnicity of the characters. So, whether we want to display only Asian people, European people, we'll set that here. And what instructions do we want to include in the images? If, for example, you sell gold and silver jewelry, and you absolutely never want to show gemstones, here you can specify that. Never include gemstones in the images. even if I sometimes talk about topics related to gemstones. And here, you'll be able to save the instructions. Here, I'm going to click on cancel. And also, you'll be able to edit the keyword if there's a small typo or if you want to change it. But as you can see, you won't be able to do this for absolutely every item. That's why we have general settings. You'll click here and you'll be able to directly set all the default settings here, one after another. So here, expert mode, you click on it, you activate it, and then you'll have the same settings I just showed you. Also below, publish generated articles as draft. So publishing generated blog articles as drafts, we'll be able to do that. What does that mean? It means that when Sorank generates a blog article, we'll send it to your site, but we'll leave it as a draft. You should only activate this setting if you're sure you'll visit your site every day and check the blog articles. That's what we did. Because it's important to publish blog articles regularly. It's a good signal for Google. So what I recommend is not to activate this setting. Only do so if you're in a regulated profession, for example, if you're a doctor. In fact, if you're in a regulated profession, if you're a doctor, accountant, lawyer, police officer, in short, if you're subject to regulations where there are really strict laws about what you can and cannot say. In that case, you can enable it if you want to review 100% of the blog articles. Then, don't forget to click Save Change at the very bottom to make sure all your settings are properly saved. So now that we've covered all that, there's one last little setting. Here, this is the list. So this is just to show you the upcoming blog articles that will be generated and which category they will be sent to. The category is chosen automatically. It's the category of your blog. Here are the blog articles that have been generated, and here are those that will be scheduled. If now you have an idea for a blog article that you want to generate instantly, I recommend going here to Article Generator, and there you'll have exactly the same features. You click on Generate an article, and there, it's exactly the same process. You'll be able to add your keyword, set all the parameters, add specific information if you want to include any, some for the article, and then generate the article. Once the article is generated, it will appear here, and you'll be able to publish it on your site. What's really important to understand is that, in addition to generating the article and sending it to your site, we'll also send it to Google Search Console. We'll send it for indexing. Indexing is when a page can be found on the internet, on Google. So here, in the software, automatically, every time we generate an article and publish it on your site, we send it for indexing. This massively increases your chances of seeing your page appear on Google more quickly. You don't have to wait for Google's bots to come back and visit your site. Here, as we can see, as soon as you click on Verify Google Indexing, it checks instantly. And below we can see that this page has indeed been indexed. Here, for example, we were crawled but not indexed because it seems this page might not have been complete enough. Or perhaps there weren't any backlinks to it yet. So here, we are being completely transparent. We're really showing you whether the pages have been indexed or not. Here, as you can see, this page hasn't been submitted. So we'll need to request indexing again, so we'll click here, Request Indexation. So now we've asked Google again to properly index this page. And so if we quickly check the article, we can type site, : and as we can see, the page is not yet indexed. So we just sent it for indexing to Google, and soon it will be, like absolutely all the other pages here, indexed. That means it can be found on Google. I'll show you this one directly. Let's go take a look at the page. We're going to type site : so that's a little command to check if the page is indexed. And here, as we can see, it's right here. People can easily find it by typing the keyword. That's great. So I've really covered everything about this feature, blog article generation. If you now want to spontaneously generate a blog article and schedule it, that's also possible. It will then be displayed in your scheduler. If you ever want to edit blog articles, not on your site but on Sorank, that's possible too. You can click here and you'll immediately have all the information. On the blog article, what are the factors that allow us to rate the score? How many images you have, how many internal links, external links, you have the list of anchors, you have the competitors we've analyzed, you'll really have everything. The meta description, the optimized slogan, your site's category, the alt texts of the images, because yes, we create 3 images with the best AI models. As you can see, these are ultra-realistic images, absolutely. All the information present on our site, the text in our blog article, comes from proven sources. So for example, here we cited the Federation of Home Appliance Commerce. If you click on it, so I did a right click to open it in a new tab, here, as you can see, we're directly on a trusted site. We always cite our sources. Trusted sites and all the data present in our blog article comes from reliable sources. So here, there is no AI slop. There is nothing made up by AI. We are certain that when Google detects this blog article, it will index it right away because we've done the work that no one else does, which is to look for the latest proven information on Google and add it to your blog article. That's why, with all the other features we have, like competitor spying, it's impossible for your competitors to keep up. Because we do human work, but in a mechanical and intelligent way, with AI, and that's what allows us to produce a large volume of articles and always be Google's friends and favorites. Because we create quality content. So at the end, we will always have a conclusion with the final call to action and frequently asked questions, which are the people also ask. For those who are SEO experts, you'll know what I'm talking about. These are simply the secondary questions, let's say, around the blog article is centered on the semantic field of the keyword. So if we want, we can also export the article and we can also send it back to our website. If ever, the blog articles are of course exportable in CSV with one click. It's great. So at this point, we've already talked about everything related to content. So here we're really going very deep into content optimization. Obviously, on every page, you'll find guides, kits that I've created, and custom videos for each feature to explain to you exactly how to use the feature without having to watch a video, like this one, which lasts several dozen minutes. The last extremely important and interesting feature is the backlinks feature. Up to now, we've seen how to understand what AIs and Google highlight, how to identify competitors, and how to create highly optimized content. But now, we need Google to trust us even more so that all our blog articles really rank in the top position. How does Google grant us its trust? It's very simple. It depends on the number of sites that link to us. It's a bit like human relationships, the more people. If someone introduces you to someone and recommends them, the more people do this, the more you'll believe and trust that person. It's the same for your website. If tomorrow you are always selling jewelry, and if many other sites in beauty, fashion, or even luxury link to you, then Google will consider your site trustworthy and will be able to rank you better on Google. That's the functionality. Backlink. Specifically, a domain name has what is called authority. Here, for my client's website, it has never had any backlinks, so it has very low authority. This is a score provided directly by Ahrefs, which is one of the leading sites for detecting domain name indexation. For example, Sorank, our software's website, to show you the authority, we have an authority of 29. The most important thing is to really have a variety of links. So for that, we've set up a credit system. Basically, each link will cost you more or fewer credits. These credits are renewed every month with any subscription. With the basic subscription at 99 euros, you will get 100 credits. 100 credits will allow you to obtain 100 points of domain rating. So, for example, that will give you 2 links with an authority score of 50. So, for example, if I create a link to Celio, it will cost them 28. I think my authority was 28. 29. It will cost them 29 credits to get a link from this rank to their site. Of course, we went a little further than that. So, we only create links between clients who have a site in the same language, a site in the same niche, and a site that doesn't sell the same products. So we will never create links with your competitors, even if they are clients on this platform. For example, we could create a link between a ready-to-wear site and a jewelry site if they don't sell the same products. Also, for SEO experts, we do not do link exchanges. This means that a site that links to another will not receive a link back from that site. We also don't do triangular exchanges, which can be detected by Google. We really create links from one site to another. We currently have more than 3,000 users as of July 6th, 2026, and we are continuing to grow. So, as time goes by, the more clients we have, the more varied sites we get. And so, the more we can offer you free links. You should know that a link from a site with an authority of 25 to 30 costs at least 300 to 400 euros or $400. That's huge. So we're just giving you that. With this feature alone, we're giving you several hundred euros worth of value. And if you want to get more backlinks, there are additional packs available. For an extra 99 euros, you'll get backlinks worth between $400 and $800. It's the same for this one and the same for that one. Each time you'll get more credits. Ultimately, because we really want to help you progress as quickly as possible, we've set up quests. So, quests are a system that allows you to perform small actions, and in return, you'll earn credits. For example, if you create a backlink to our site, we'll give you your authority times 2. So the bigger your site, the more credits you'll earn. Next, if you make a post on social media, on LinkedIn, Instagram, or TikTok about this rank, and share your thoughts about it, we'll send you 50 credits. If you join our affiliate program, which is at the bottom left and is 100% free, and you get an affiliate, meaning you refer someone to join this rank, you'll also earn 50 credits. If you leave us a review on G2, which is a review platform similar to Trustpilot but exclusively for software, you'll also earn 50 credits. And finally, the biggest reward you can get is 200 credits. That's if you record a quick video with your phone. It can be just like this, where you film yourself and honestly share your thoughts about this rank. No need to give us praise, just tell us what you really think about the technology and the results you've been able to achieve. And you just need to send it to us. To send it to us, simply click on Claim Rewards and you'll be able to send us the direct link to your video. Coming back here to Backlinks, you'll be able to choose whether or not to participate in our network right here. Here, for now, we've paused things for this client because he had 2 or 3 small things to finish on his site before wanting to receive links. And below you'll see the status of the links. So here, I really wanted to show you all the different situations. Actually, by default, he had enabled participation in the network. And then he asked us to remove the links there because he wanted to order bigger ones later, since he wanted to set a minimum site size. He only wanted to get large sites. So here, you'll be able to enable or disable your participation in the network. By default, it's automatically enabled so that you receive links automatically every month. Here you'll have the link to the pages that are published directly. We check them every day, so if someone removes your backlink, they will be penalized. We will take away their credits. So here you will have the page that you can open, the anchor text where the link is placed, the authority of the publisher, the number of credits it cost you, and the status. Here the links were removed because they weren't relevant for my client yet. I think I've covered everything. Finally, for the dashboard, you'll have a bit of a summary of all the information I've shared with you. So, the number of clicks, the number of citations, your ranking among your competitors, and your authority score. Here, you'll see the logarithmic growth of your performance. In black, you'll see the number of citations we've detected directly in your analyses, GEO. In orange, you'll see the number of actual visitors who came to your site from AIs, which is really very important. We track this with Google Analytics, so we're not making anything up. And below, you'll have the details from Google Analytics. Which pages were visited by these visitors? In orange, the visitors who come from AIs. Below, you'll see the top keywords that bring you the most visitors. From which country people are coming to your site, on which devices, which AIs recommend you the most, and which sites influence your reputation in the AIs. I hope you enjoyed this presentation video. If you have any questions at all, send me an email or chat directly here. And if you really want to move quickly to optimize your SEO, don't hesitate to check out our documentation. If you are a developer and you want to connect the webhook, if you want to see how to host your blog, absolutely everything is explained here in French, English, German, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, Hebrew, and Arabic. We've really included all the languages, so don't hesitate. I really encourage you to try out the solution. We are so confident that you'll keep your subscription that we're offering you a 3-day free trial. Don't hesitate to go generate your first blog articles. I'll see you very soon on the Sorank software.